with him being only 23 years old, going into being 24, I think he could have a year where he can potentially challenge Denzel Ward as being the best cornerback on his team. What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Will back with another video, and today we're gonna be getting into another interesting video topic. So look, today we're gonna be talking about future star, hopefully, cornerback in Martin Emerson, coming out of the great College of Mississippi. Now, if you guys are wondering what hoodie am I wearing, which you're probably not, it's my clothing brand, Detrimental Figures. If you ever want to shop my brand, all my links in the description with my link tree. Got my Twitter there as well. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram. But today we're going to be talking about Martin Emerson. Hit that like and subscribe button as well. So, Martin Emerson had a breakout rookie year. Pretty caught everybody off guard with his production. When he was first drafted, guys like me were questioning drafting another cornerback when you already had Greg Newsome there. But you went out and drafted Martin Emerson. Home run pick by Mr. Barry, to say the least. Home run pick. Getting this talent, getting a first round talent in the third round is crazy. And now Martin Emerson already had a good year one. His year two was good. Year one, he ranked 72.9 PFF grade. Year two, 65.8 PFF grade. His PFF grade did take a drop, but if you look at his production levels across the board, he had 0 interceptions his first year. Second year, he was 5th in interceptions. He was targeted 70 times, only allowed 33 receptions. So, you know, that's under about a 40% catch rate. And this is with PFF. Who knows if, like, these numbers are extremely accurate. But, you know, about a 44 catch rate. And then going into his 2022 season, he was targeted about 89 times and allowed about 48 receptions. So, overall, stayed about the same in that category, but it did improve. He also did improve with getting 4 more interceptions that he get the next year. His tackles was about the same, honestly. It's pretty much about the same production, really, for him. But he's a budding star. He's a guy that you could go out there and put on guys. You go out there and put him on a guy like, who did he go back and forth with? He shut down T. Higgins week 1. Had that back and forth with George Pickens. George Pickens really didn't get off against him in week 2. He had that one big play that was on Greg Newsome. Week 3, he came back, had DeAndre Hopkins. Now, D-Hop still has some good rec, but he held him pretty quiet there. And then he also done play, you know, Brandon Ayuk. And then just his work on T. Higgins and the receivers that he have in this division alone, he's been a solid number 2 cornerback with the potential of being a number 1 cornerback. And I think this year can be the season that he makes his first Pro Bowl. Now, he should have made a Pro Bowl last year. Like I said, he was tied in 5th for interceptions on a team where he's primarily guarding and staying on one side, even though Denzel Ward's on the opposite side. So he's not moving around. He's staying on that Pacific end and playing corner at the position he's playing. He's a playmaker for this Cleveland Browns team. He's a playmaker. With him having, you know, 70 to 33, under 50% receptions allowed, and him, you know, being a play on ball type of guy, he's turned the ball over with 4 interceptions, is really good. You know, PFF grades with corners is a little bit weird. You never know what they really got or what they got going on as far as what the corner's responsibility is. But Martin Emerson, besides the PFF grade, has been a top cornerback, and it's been a top 15 cornerback in the league. And I think he has the potential to finally move up and to start getting those numbers to be a number 1 cornerback. I think this will be the year people really stop targeting him, and you're going to have to try to run on this Cleveland Browns football team. Now, going into this 2024 season, into his 3rd year, can we see, and do you guys think we'll see Martin Emerson take a step? If you wonder why I'm over here reading all his PFF and his charts, but do you think he can take a step? I think it's possible that he's able to take a step. Him being put in the right situation, him being his 2nd year, and the Jim Schwartz system. I almost said Joe Woods for whatever reason. Him having his 2nd year in the Jim Schwartz system, he already showed the ability to be a guy that could create turnovers. Now, if he could just continue to be a lockdown corner, his really only issue is getting beat deep. So with him being his second year, he's able to go up against those big body type of guys. I think him being beat deep, it slowly gets slowed down because that's really his only issue as far as his problems. And he don't get beat deep a lot. So Martin Emerson, especially getting put in the right position, if the defensive line can have a little bit more penetration than he did towards the end of the season, I think his numbers will hold up pretty well. The cornerbacks on our team took somewhat of a drop just because of some of the big plays they gave up. But a lot of the times it's be coverage busts. So not necessarily on the corners and more on the safeties. But I do want to see if we want to just go and get a little comparison here and look at Denzel Ward. Denzel Ward only had a 3 points higher of a PFF grade than him last year. We all thought Denzel Ward was an all-pro. He was a Pro Bowler. If you look at Denzel Ward's numbers, he allowed about 34 receptions on 66 targets. So Martin Emerson, with just that alone, is slightly better than him. Emerson had more interceptions than him. You know, he had 2 to Emerson's 4, and Martin actually had more solo tackles as well. So that's our top fourth pick in the draft, first round pick, Denzel Ward, and he's right there mano a mano with Denzel Ward, who's one of the top 10 corners in this league. I think it's able, and I think he will take that step to get into a top 10 corner. If I was to predict his stacks, I think he'll be around 4 to 5 interceptions. I think he'll have a better rate as far as targets to a receptions allowed. He'll probably be at 80-30. I think he'll be one of those top shutdown corners in the league. I think he'll have another 70 PFF grade season, even though that really doesn't mean anything. But I just think we see a slight improvement from him, from just a coverage standpoint, and with him improving from coverage and not getting beat deep, him staying the same as far as creating turnovers and still being that shutdown corner, that big body corner that locks people up. I think it's still there for him. Now, Denzel Ward did have a forced fumble as well. I didn't mention that. Martin Emerson had no forced fumbles, but had 52 solo tackles. Denzel Ward had about 33, so he did have more tackles than him as well. So, like I said, not to here nor there. If I was even to pull up Greg Newsome and see if Greg Newsome, to compare him amongst the three, see if Greg Newsome, what was his percentage? Greg Newsome had 67 targets, allowed 39 receptions. So he's also is pretty high up. That's above 50%, just like Denzel Ward. So he had the best percentage as far as receptions allowed to targets on the team. He led the team in interceptions. And he looked like he led the cornerbacks in tackles. So, not to here nor there. And just for, you know, context, Denzel Ward has a worse PFF grade than Greg Newsome. We all know Greg Newsome is much better. And it's not better than Denzel Ward. And Denzel Ward is clearly better than Greg Newsome. But that's how PFF have them ranked. So that's why I just like to say PFF grades is really imaginary, because they sometimes don't know what they're talking about. But stats-wise, you know, he leads the cornerback room in receptions allowed to targets ratio, and also led them in interceptions and tackles. With him being only 23 years old, going into being 24, I think he could have a year where he can potentially challenge Denzel Ward as being the best cornerback on his team. You guys let me know how y'all feel about it. Do you guys think he'll stay the same and Denzel Ward will be the clear one, or you think Martin Emerson can maybe come up and be the #1 cornerback in this room? But that's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to talk about today, man. You guys make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. It's your boy Will. You all should be getting this video on a Friday, so happy Friday to y'all. I'll see y'all probably Sunday or Monday. I'm out. Peace.